The failure of our politics, I've always said that Nigeria is in the mess we are in today because of the kind of politics we have played over the years. And if we are going to get out of it, it will also depend on the kind of politics we play going forward. But like Mutawale have always insisted, can you teach an old dog a new trick? People who have done this for 30, for 40, for 50 years, can you suddenly begin to teach them something they've never been taught before, something they never believed in, something they've never had to do? The answer is no. But the greatest tragedy is not the absence of an ethical or philosophical anchor for the kind of politics we have played, but it is our failure to think about what will happen to this country after we are gone. We, the political class in the older generation, part of them somehow, we never really thought of a successor generation. We've allowed politics to be given a bad name, such that when you are a politician, people begin, when you introduce yourself as a politician, it has happened to me before. People who ordinarily will give you respect, the moment you say you are a politician, they begin to look at you suspiciously. I actually want to think that armed robbers think they are more honorable than politicians. No, because if a gang of armed robbers agree to go and burgle a place at 4 p.m., no one will go there at 3:30 in the gang. But politicians can say we have a meeting at 4 o'clock and they've had that meeting at 2 o'clock. But this is why we are where we are. But the African Democratic Congress is saying this is where we draw the line. We must see this as a responsibility to provide a space for younger people. I have no doubt in my mind, with what has happened to the People's Democratic Party, which is tragic in the context, I have no doubt in my mind that the only thing holding the APC together today is power. When you take political power, government power, out of APC, you don't have a political party. This party, the African Democratic Congress, represents the future of politics in Nigeria. It's the only party built on the philosophy of egalitarianism. It's the only party you can belong and nobody will tell you what to do and what not to do. It's the only party where we have conversations, we don't direct people what to do. ADC today is the only political party whose brand identity is bigger than any single individual. But whether ADC will fulfill this potential post-2027, because I always say, the biggest challenge we have, how do we stop the banditry going on in the Federal Republic of Nigeria today? How do we stop APC from coming to power again in 2027? If we win in 2027, there is a way power distracts from the real issues. Are we going to abandon the work we have started building a formidable political party? That's going to depend on what you people are agreeing to do going forward. But with this initiative, Rise Up Niger, I am more than confident that those of you, you may be few, but it's not millions of people that start something. It's a few people sitting across coffee rooms who birthed the greatest ideas in the world. So this has started, and I can assure you, and in concluding, I want to commend Mutawale again, because he has consistently championed the idea of developing ADC into a political party that is anchored on ethics and principle. So I'm not surprised that he's supporting you all the way. From the start, I'm not surprised. We've had meeting in his house, have this conversation. And when Jack called me, I was in another meeting. Nobody invited me to this meeting. I was passing through this place yesterday, around 8 o'clock, when I had some people banging. When I said, what's going on? They said, oh, today is the Rise Up Nigeria. I said, okay, maybe we are not invited. We agree, we are old. No, let's go home. So Jack called me and said, well, I didn't know I was being invited to this meeting, so I had to cut short my meeting to come here. But I'm immensely delighted that I'm part of this historical event. You know, people talk about the North, and they said the spirit of Sardauna Ahmadu Bello. The spirit of Sardauna Ahmadu Bello. But when you hear some people say the spirit of Sardauna Ahmadu Bello, I don't think they realize that Ahmadu Bello was not even half their age when he achieved the immortality that they are referring to. When you look at Zeke, Awo, all these people we like to talk about, they are young. Most of you are already older than them. You're already older than them. So, and that is why there is one message I'm going to leave you here with, is that age is not a credential. Birth certificate is not a credential. It is the work we do going forward that will determine our place in the history of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That history, the history of Nigeria, is yet to be written. It's more or less a blank slate. It's still waiting to be written.